podcast is available on Spotify. Just search From the Pavilion End. We are also available on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and on YouTube Podcast. Please show your love by subscribing and following the podcast. And please like the episode and share it with your friends.
Hello and welcome to another edition of From the Pavilion End. We have started our season 2 of From the Pavilion End, and we aim to cover the entire Indian Test season starting in September and going on till the early days of January. And today we have a honored guest with us, Romman Dada from Dhaka. He is an avid football and cricket follower, and he has been with us in our discussions for the 2023 ODI World Cup. He frequently, assists us in our football podcast, which you can also check out on European Football Adda. I'll leave the link below. But today we are discussing the rise of Bangladesh Test team. I'm talking only about the Test aspirations here. And we will talk in detail about the Pakistan series that Bangladesh has had, which is, in my view, probably if you're talking about 2-match Test series, then the second greatest win in a 2-match Test series by an Asian team. The first, obviously, I would put the Sri Lanka 2-match Test series win in South Africa, where Kusal Perera played probably the greatest ever fourth innings match in the first match, and then they won the second match also. But Bangladesh, I think, was very close to that, written off completely before the Test series with with a lot of tension within the team, as well as how the team will be selected and all. With almost zero preparation, the team went. Nobody gave them any chance. And in the 2 Test matches, Bangladesh batted the fourth innings in both of them. The first one, they had to come back from a first innings deficit of 448, where Pakistan had piled up 448 in the first innings. And in the second Test, they had to come back from a situation of 6 down for 26 in their first innings. So no praise can be enough. But what we are talking about it from neutral observers' point of view, and I have 2 other neutral observers today. Let me remind you, Bikiron and Krishnendu. So we will be providing from the neutral perspective our observation of those matches. But we want to hear from the horse's mouth how it felt, what actually was happening in the country. We all know that Bangladesh has been going through some difficult time, and there has been a lot of other issues apart from cricket, which are in the mind of an ordinary general Bangladeshi citizen. So how this match was impacting the people back home, and all the emotions that they went through. So welcome, Romman Dada. First thing that I wanted to ask you is that, were you able to see the match live?
Thank you. I followed the game actually from offices. Yeah, there was some difficulties over there. But I tried to get the net going whenever I was in the office. Cricinfo was with me, and whenever I found that, yeah, Bangladesh, or even when Pakistan was top, I was looking around there. And yeah, when Bangladesh was top, probably I was watching the games session after session, even being in office as well.
Was there any live telecast done of the matches?
Yeah, yeah. Probably it was telecasted internationally from PTV Sports and Sony Live, as I probably followed, but in Bangladesh as well, our own sports channel T Sports broadcasted those two test matches. But yeah, I followed from TNT Sports from Britain, from internet.
I think from my perspective, as I said, it probably ranks at the as the second best all-time test series win by any Asian country anywhere in a two-match series, for a two-match series where everybody had written a team off. Um, Tell me how you went through that phase of the team getting selected, not knowing whether they will be able to practice, then going to Pakistan. I think they went 5 days early to practice there. Then I think the uh first team opener got injured, and one of the reserve openers, I think Shadman was the reserve opener who came in, and then 448 over the first couple of days of the test match, and they declared, and then things started. Tell me in your own words about that first test and the preparation about it.
Actually, the preparation was, yeah, greatly hampered because of the other reasons that was happening in Bangladesh, and the team were practicing in Sylhet. Uh, uh, the players who were not selected for the white ball cricket, they actually were under some supervision of our local coaches, like Mushfiq, Shadman, Mahmudul Hassan Joy, and the players who are actually treated as the specialists of the red ball cricket. But even then, when the situation got worse in Bangladesh, the practice got hampered, and it was literally off for 7 to 10 days. As everybody knows, what was the reason behind that. But then again, the A team, that is the secondary supply team of Bangladesh national team, just before the national tour, they toured with in Pakistan, with played couple of three matches with Pakistan Shahins, where Mushfiq, Shadman, Mahmudul Hassan Joy, and many other players were there. So they got some taste of playing in Pakistan, but I don't think that was like something to give that type of moral that we can win in Pakistan, because in Pakistan our record was not that good, and we were expecting something very pacey and greenish wicket over there. And actually, Pakistan tried to build on that, because the Rawalpindi pitch, especially in the first test, was quite green, though it was debatable whether their pace and bounce was up to the mark or not. They actually criticized them by themselves, but again, the pitch was same for both 22 players over there. But literally, we didn't have any kind of expectation. We just went there to probably feel the Test Championship cycle. But we knew that we can probably make a good outing, which could have been draw. But draw in the two test match series was expecting a bit too much under the some circumstances, and the record we have in white ball cricket and test match cricket. So yeah, it was quite astonishing that in the first test, since as Pakistan scored 448 and declared quite confidently and quite rightly, because the rain took quite a time away from the game, so they were looking to bowl out Bangladesh for a couple of times. So 20 wickets, that was their target. But then again, the way the players handle the pressure, because around 250 runs were required just to avoid the follow-up. And if I believe, as the time was lost, it was probably 275 or 300 runs were needed to avoid the follow-on. That would have added pressure to the batters. But yeah, they've shown some maturity, and Mushfiq played one of the finest ever knock for Bangladesh, though he had an score of 200 in Sri Lanka in 2012. But I rate this one is one of the very fine innings that Bangladeshi batter have ever played in a away test match. Yeah, since then it was never no looking back for Bangladesh, because when Bangladesh got the lead of 117 runs, somewhere we were talking in office that Pakistan have a knack of playing bad cricket, or under pressure they were collapsing, and that's what exactly happened. They just lost 1 wicket in the fourth and the end of the fourth day, and suddenly they were 9 or 8 for 117, and we were thinking, uh, how can this can be happen, because our spinners were dominating where it was supposed to be a pacer friendly wicket. So yeah, probably unpredictability of Pakistan helped us, and from there on, we are actually started to believe that we actually can win in the second test as well, and that was exactly happened.
If you ask me, and I was following that series was not telecast live in India, but
Okay.
I was following the match also on Cricinfo. And on the first 2 days, I think I was looking at it and I was thinking that it would probably go to a draw because there was rain predicted. But when they scored 448 and they when actually 4 wickets fell on the first morning, I felt there could be something. But then Rizwan and South Shakil played really long innings, and I said, okay, this is probably going along predictable lines. And then Bangladesh did not lose any wicket on the second evening rather.
Yeah.
The third day, I think Bangladesh played very solidly but very safely. The only point where I felt that there could be a fight in Bangladesh was when Litton Das started hitting those boundaries of Naseem Shah.
Yes.
Naseem Shah was the bowler who could actually, in that innings, was actually bowling really well. And Litton started hitting him. And that is when I felt that there could be something possible. But when Litton got out, the very first thing in the next morning, I thought that that is that. Whatever I felt, that is that. I could never imagine Miraj and Mushfiq putting together a 200-run partnership at that point. That is where I could not believe that Bangladesh would allow Pakistan would allow, Pakistani bowlers would allow that. Anything on that Miraj and Mushfiq partnership, and especially on the batsmanship of Miraj, the way he has come up is almost a frontline all-rounder now for Bangladesh.
Yeah, it was sensational from their point of view, because we were expecting something big from Mushfiq, as we do that for quite some time. But Miraz, as recent past, has shown that he has the capability of going for the team, and for he can go keep his shoulder down to play for the teams. We have seen that in the India series in 2022, but that was from white ball cricket. We knew from some year now that he is a pretty utility cricketer in white ball cricket, but in test match cricket and in the lower order, when 1 or 2 wickets will bring the bowlers or the lower order players, you have to play in a different role, because if Mushfiq got out, he would have played uh, in a different manner, in aggressive manner. But he trusted, as Mushfiq was the senior one, and at the same point, Mushfiq was trusting him. Mushfiq wasn't taking any kind of unnecessary risks. They were playing for long innings. At that point of time, somehow I was looking for and was thinking that it is something like the old Australia, when we thought that in the Australian team that everybody got out. Now Gilchrist will take the team as in a honorable situation or something like that. We were used to see that Gilchrist and the lower order and the other players were putting up 200 to 300 more runs and putting all the pressure to the opponents and taking the game away from them. So I was thinking that 228 run partnership or 200 run partnership was quite something like that. That was demoralizing for the Pakistani bowlers. The shoulders were down, and they were thinking that, uh, well, the game was almost in their grip, and then it got away from there. So that was pretty uh, different, and it's a breath of fresh air for ourselves, because we were seeing that Miraz is taking the responsibility. He is able to do the things that we were expecting from him since long. And in a recent interview, he also said that he wants to be a frontline batsman in the top order, not just a lower order or middle order player. So he has the ambition, and he has probably he's coming out of ages.
Now, let me bring Krishnendu into this discussion. Krishnendu, after a disastrous T20 World Cup, Pakistan chairman, the current chairman, I mean, they keep on changing. He's still there. Mr. Mohsin Naqvi, who is also the interior minister, he said that there will be surgery done. Okay. But the test side did not have any such drastic things. And the pitches also did not have much anything that would, inspire like something like that. Shaheen Afridi, Naseem Shah both were playing in that match, but the surgery was done on the fourth innings by the Bangladeshi spinners.
The first thing I want to say is Shan Matsu's declaration at 440 odd was mistake. It on hindsight, it's a mistake. But looking at the Pakistani,
I don't think it was a mistake.
In hindsight,
they estimated Bangladesh level to be this much.
Yeah, in hindsight, it's a mistake. 440. If you are scoring 447 in the first innings, 9 out of 10 times you should be winning that test match, or at least not losing that test match. But Pakistan found a way to lose it. Bangladesh has found two very interesting openers. I can't remember their name.
Shadman Shadman and Zakir were the openers, but Shadman was not the original opener. Shadman was not the original opener. The original opener was Joy. He got injured, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Joy got injured in that A match. So Shadman, who has been playing for a long time, Shadman played, in fact, in that pink test series. He also played there. So he's not a young kid. Joy is a young kid. Joy was supposed to open. He got injured. Shadman came in and Shadman played a long 93-run innings. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the look of Zakir Hasan. Is an attacking player. He tried to be a little defensive in the first test, but in the next test match, he found a way. He's a very attacking looking young, this short little heighted attacking player like him. And they have a wonderful, I think Mominul Haq is probably their most talented batsman, even though Litton does gets a lot of plaudit. But I like Mominul Haq is a much more compact, more consistent player. They have got a few good middle-order batsmen. Shakib Al-Hasan, again, dependable. Mushfiqur has been scoring these, what can I say, saving an innings run a number of times. And Litton does is an enigma. He can score this magnificent 100 and then he can get out at Dhaka. So he's not a consistent player, but at 7, he's the kind of player who can take the game away from the opposition. So they have a few decent batsmen. So 447, if we are looking back, it's a pretty ordinary score. And then the first test match was played basically on a road for the first 4 days. It was basically a road. So Pakistani, what's the Pakistani bowler's name? Naseem Shah. Naseem Shah complained about the state of the pitches in Pakistan because there's no turn, there's no bounce, there's no pace. They are basically, if you are prepared to spend time on the wicket, you are going to score runs. It's very boring cricket. Only two teams made it interesting. First was England through their attacking cricket, and second is Pakistan by playing brain dead cricket. You have to play brain dead cricket to lose test matches on those kind of tracks.
Right.
I do like Nahid, that fast bowler that Pakistan found. Tall, bowls at 145. Bangladesh found, sorry. Pakistan finds fast bowlers every day and then they disappear after two test series. So Nahid, this Bangladeshi bowler, I really like. I have always been a fan of Taskin Ahmed. I know he has been injury prone. He has been inconsistent, but he has that thing of skidding through a wicket. He can bowl good balls on a pretty ordinary track. So I've always been a fan of Taskin. Nahid is that tall, lanky 145 plus bowler that they have found. And they always had the spinners. If the pitch is turning as it did on the last day of the test match, they have the spinners to run through a side. So Bangladesh have a decent team, and they found Pakistan probably at the lowest ebb.
Now, after losing a test to Bangladesh for the first time in their history, obviously tempers were very high. People were out for revenge, and unfortunately, they were playing in the same ground again. And they completely changed, Pakistan completely changed their bowling attack, brought in a spinner, threw out Shaheen Shah Afridi, threw out Naseem Shah. And they thought that, they struggled, but they thought that they had a good total. And then when they got Bangladesh down to 6 for 26, nobody gave any chance to Bangladesh. What were your thoughts, Ramdada, at that point? 6 for 26. Were you actually following at that point? Were you actually seeing that?
Yeah, I was actually following, and it was like old story for us that, yeah, after one very good show, again the coming to the lowest point of your performances. And yeah, there was Miraj and Little, but literally I was thinking that probably we'll be looking forward for to avoid the follow-on only, because uh it was somewhere around 126 runs, and that was 100 runs away from us, and we knew that one wicket and there will be bowlers only. And as Krishan rightly mentioned, that Liton can be flamboyant, 100 maker, and can be out in a zero without any cost, and with playing nothing short. And Miraj played 78 in the first innings. It was too much to expect him to play another 70 odd innings in that type of a situation, 26 for 6. But he actually started the game to take the game to the Pakistani bowlers, played some strike shots. Pressure was on Litton to perform, but he took the responsibility. That was eased all the nerves from Litton, and then suddenly we found that the partnership is going pretty easily. And when the 165 runs partnership was done, I probably thought we are trailing by probably 50 odd runs. Then again, with Hasan Mahmood, Litton plays probably one of the finest innings of Bangladesh cricket in that kind of a scary moment, because 138 on that type of a situation is like somewhere around 200 250 run innings from any other situation. So yeah, he was playing at his will. He was playing the big shots. He was taking the bowlers on his merry way. Low scoring game, because 274 in the first innings is never going to be enough if you ask me. But yeah, Bangladesh scored 262, only 12 runs behind. That was probably again a demoralizing fact for the Pakistani bowlers, that after putting Bangladesh in 26 for 6, they added another 236 runs in the last 4 wickets. That was probably unacceptable from any side, whatever the bowling arsenal you have.
You said that that is probably one of the best innings by a Bangladeshi batsman. I would say that is the best innings by a Bangladeshi batsman in Test cricket, of course. In Test cricket, I have never seen. So, for example, whatever anybody says about any innings of Virat Kohli, Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly, Rahul Dravid, you ask any Indian and they will say VVS Lakshman 281
281,
in that follow-on innings, a follow-on
greatest ever.
match is arguably the greatest ever. You can bring in 10 other things, but that outshines everything. I think the quality of and the maturity and the fact that Litton was injured for most of that innings, and still he had the tenacity and the intelligence and the courage to play that two partnerships, one with Miraj and the other with the tail, was outstanding. What do you think about that? The performance of Litton in that match, and also the performance of Miraj, who in the two matches took 10 wickets with one 5-wicket haul, one 4-wicket haul, and 2 50s. Both 50s crucial in actually establishing or stabilizing the first innings of Bangladesh. So Miraj and Litton can speak on those two.
So I'm coming to the Miraj point at first. Okay. Miraj has been phenomenal in the last 2 years with the ball as well as the bat in Test cricket. I saw somewhere that he is averaging 46 or 47 with the bat and averaging 24 or 25 something with the ball since the start of 2023. That is outstanding numbers. The sample size is obviously small, like the 6 or 7 matches. This is arguably the best numbers by any all-rounder in Test cricket in the last 1.5 years or so. So Miraz has been phenomenal. His career batting numbers is a bit underwhelming because of that he bats too low for a lower order batter like at number 8 or 9. But now he is scoring runs as well with the bat. And I did watch that the Litton and the Miraz partnership on that Tamasha F platform, and they were playing beautifully. And the interesting thing is that they attacked Abrar Ahmed, that spinner, and after the lunch, they did play cautiously till the lunch. From the 26 to 6, they were like 100 for 6, something odd till the end of the lunch. They were cautious, but after the lunch, they were going after the Pakistani bowlers. And in that phase, I think the run rate was around the 5 to 6 plus run rate. And that actually put the Pakistan up to the back foot. And that actually helped them a lot. And Miraz showed some composure. Miraz played his shot. Miraz is magnificent. Miraz is magnificent. And as well as I would like to talk about his bowling performance in the first innings. The first innings on the second day, technically it was the first day because the first day was washed out, but on the second day, his bowling performance was magnificent. Pakistan did not get any big partnerships. If you look at the partnerships in the first innings of them, they did not get any big partnerships. So all the partnerships were like 40, 50 runs, and then they kept losing the wickets continuously. And that helped Bangladesh, that actually harmed Pakistan scores a lot in the first innings. They should have scored more than the 350 or 360 runs in the first innings. As far as Little Das is concerned, Little does not have any dearth of the talent. He is really a lot of talented batter. He did play a 80 or 85 runs innings in the New Zealand as well in 2022, I think. And against India, he also played a very good innings at Mirpur. Now, but this 138 outshines everything. This is definitely his career best and arguably the best test innings played by an Bangladeshi batter. I think he played a second fiddle role with the Miraz, but when Miraz got out, he really showed some maturity and he trusted his partner Hasan Mahmood. And the post tea session, they almost batted an entire session after that, with the tail leaking batted almost an entire session with the tailenders, and he showed really brilliant maturity and composure as well.
I'll ask Krishnendu one question about the Pakistan test teams. Whether now their level has come to this. This was an exceptionally poor innings. Everything that is happening there, that Shan Mashood, Babar's form, Shaheen's form, Shaheen's celebration, everything that is coming there. How much of that contributed in this victory, and how much of it was the cricket that Bangladesh played?
See, a divided Pakistani dressing room was never a problem for them in the 90s. Waqar Ibn Wasim Akram never got along. Javed Miadar didn't like Imran Khan. Imran Khan didn't like Javed Miadar. The 1992 World Cup winning team, I think nobody liked each other in that squad. But it didn't stop Pakistan from winning matches. They were enigmatic. Of course, they used to lose matches. They lost against Bangladesh in 1998 World Cup. So there were these odd days, but the problem is these odd days are coming in wins rather than losses now. That's the problem with Pakistan. And this team, the current generation of players are not as talented. So when you do not have that much of a talented group of players and it's divided, it's very difficult to string together results. I think Gary Kirsten kind of let the cat out of the bag after the World Cup, where he kind of revealed that the dressing room was divided. The problem with the Pakistani establishment is they have propped up a few players who are not as good as they want them to be. Babar Azam is not as good as Zahir Abbas, no matter what anyone tells you. He's not. There are serious issues with his technique. He was struggling in T20 cricket. Pakistan persisted with him. The only good thing that the only thing that is doing well now is playing ODI cricket pretty well. But Babar Azam is not as talented as everyone thought him to be. And there are there fast bowler Shaheen Shah Afridi. He is not Wasim Akram. No matter whoever tells me anything else, I don't believe he's not as good as his the Pakistan cricket would hope him to be. So it's a less talented group of players who are divided. It's very difficult to get results out of a team that is not as talented but also not as united.
After this win, what was the reaction back home in Dhaka and other places? Where do you feel Bangladesh's test team's real position lies? I mean, somebody can beat somebody on any given day, but you need some amount of consistency to show that you are at a certain level.
One series cannot define any team at any moment, and especially when you have a mountain-like series is coming in your way. Arguably, the best team at the red ball cricket is the opponent of our cricket team, and that is also in away series, in an away series. So, one thing is that at least the team started to enjoy the longer version of cricket, because as our board actually started this procedure in 2019, so 5 years back, they actually separated some players who are actually treated only for red ball cricket. Their facilities and the practice of our longer version cricket in Bangladesh, the domestic cricket culture has been changed. The facilities were increased. The players started to believe that not only the white ball cricket is the only way to earn your bread and butter. The red ball cricket can be your career as well. So some bunch of players are coming through. You can see that Mominul only plays the red ball cricket. So does Mahmudul Hasan Josh, Shadman Islam. Right at the moment, Zakir Hassan is been considered as a red ball cricket player. So does Taijul Islam, who is not in the team at the moment, but with the team, definitely. So these are the changes actually planned way before, but the results will take some time. And especially only one series will not define that we are getting the results. We have to be consistent. The players need to understand their roles and should react in that way. One good thing what was happened in these two test series, when Pakistan was 448 for 6, the shoulders weren't down. The players were enjoying the moment, because in past we have seen that in that kind of situation Bangladesh were getting out of 100 to 150 or something like that. And in the second innings, when 26 for 6, the chips were down, everybody was thinking that, yeah, that is probably the real Bangladesh. Then again, they have shown their characters. They fought in the end, and when in the third innings, Pakistan lost 2 for 9 in the evening session against Hassan Mahmood. We are believing that this Pakistan will crumble, and they actually showed the way. Unless if we were taking the catches, remember Rizwan was dropped in the very first ball against Nahid Rana in the third innings of the second test. If that was done, then probably Pakistan would have faced something around 10 wickets defeat in the second test as well. So that would have been huge. Like whatever the Pakistan team is, it's an away series, it's a home series for them, playing against Pakistan in Pakistan and beating them in the 2 test matches. It itself talk a lot about Bangladesh cricket at the moment, but in general, we believe this is just the starting of something better, and we are expecting the consistency, only the consistency from the players. We know probably giving our 100% is not good enough to bring a result against India, especially when the game is in India. But we want to see the fight that we have seen in Pakistan. That is the key, and that is the challenge of the team at the moment. That playing good in 1 or 2 test match is good, but playing this with consistent basis, that is the challenge. And if they can do that, probably we will see the results in future, and everybody will believe that yeah, this team is now performing. Right at the moment, we're just enjoying the time because it is an unrest situation in Bangladesh. Even the sports sector is not doing well because a lot of changes has been done. The reforms are there. As our board president has been changed. So yeah, this type of performance not only motivates the players but also the people in general. But again, it's just the starting.
Right.
I really want to see the next home series that Bangladesh plays against any team. The kind of fast bowlers that Bangladesh have, I would like to see them prepare better wickets because Bangladesh has been making those rank turners and they have become a consistent team at home. But I would like to see them prepare better wickets. So
No,
that
I think the pitches will be prepared based on the opposition's strength rather than your own strength. So if
even against India, they play.
South Africa is coming, if South Africa is coming, I think the next team that is coming is South Africa. I don't expect PC pitches there. Okay.
But even against India, they made those rank turners.
No, I'm saying that there might be a perception that Indian team cannot play spin. There might be a perception the current Indian batsman cannot play spin. So all I'm saying is that it is always good to have good pace and good spin at your in your side, because then you can choose based on your opponent's weakness what kind of pitch you will give to them. I mean, I think the old Rawalpindi Express has retired and we found a new Rawalpindi Express who actually is from Bangladesh now. So that's what we saw. I want to ask before I go into the India-Bangladesh series, and I know that Bikiron, Krishnendu are also, have a lot of ideas about that series because a lot of things rides on that series. I'll come to that. I want to ask two questions. First question, Hathurusinghe. Second question, Shakib Al Hasan. Both controversial topics. I want your opinion.
Hathurusinghe actually gave us a long term plan and some suggestions. Based on that we were actually preparing the players and the everything, even the infrastructure and other things were preparing because whenever he was on leave, like what he did in the past few months, the local coaches were preparing the players. They were under the supervision of them, also with the BCP. So he actually thinks about one thing, that is success, and to get the success, he sometimes brings some controversy over the team. But yeah, you cannot deny that the greatest Bangladesh time is under Hathurusinghe. Whatever the 2015 World Cup, the series, 2017 Champions Trophy semi-final, and this Test series, everything is under in his belt. So if Bangladesh doesn't gives his value, he has a rich CV just coaching Bangladesh. And another thing is Shakib Al Hasan. One thing is that whenever there is controversy, probably we see the best of Shakib Al Hasan. Probably in this too much test series, we haven't seen the batter Shakib Al Hasan, but in bowling sector, he was up to the mark, and he was done what he was expected to be done, because the Pacers have done the job. Miraz has done phenomenal job, and he has shown his class whenever he got the opportunity. And we believe at least another couple of years, Shakib has the ability to deliver for Bangladesh. There is no, alternate of him, because he's extremely fit, even the fitter than the many young players. And whatever happens outside in Bangladesh or outside his life, he doesn't bother, because when he lost his member of parliament ship in Bangladesh in 5th of August, one of the fans asked whether you have the membership or not. He just smiled and said, "It is not with me anymore." So he was actually enjoying the time, though there was some controversies over there, but he doesn't bother with all the things. So he just performs whenever it is needed. And we believe the controversies bring the best of Shakib Al Hasan because if you can remember the timeout event, he actually played his best innings in the World Cup in that match.
Quick question for Krishnendu Bikiron. Do you know who was the manager of the Sri Lanka team, which I said had actually won the best possible two-match series? I put Bangladesh's win as second and Sri Lanka's win against South Africa as the first. Do you know who
It
was
was
the
Hathurusinghe.
correct? And he was sacked within 5 months of that. I think
Yes.
there could be a repeat like here also. So the two best ever Asian Test Series wins, where a team has performed in a two-match series, has been both under Hathurusinghe, once in South Africa, once in Pakistan. So let's come to the main, the entire thing about it, which is the India versus Bangladesh Test series, and we have been talking about it internally also a lot. There's so much things riding on this series because let me put the things that are riding on this series. We have all understood the Bangladesh point of view, where Bangladesh is coming from probably the best ever Test performance in the history. They're coming with a team where there are great, or rather, promising fast bowlers. There are great middle order batsmen, promising spinners. I'll say actually more than promising. I think now they're all established spinners. They're coming up against an Indian team which has last played Test cricket in January in a Test match in South Africa, which got over in 1.5 days, which was the shortest completed Test match ever in terms of Test cricket, in terms of the balls bowled. Okay, that was the last. That was played in January. No Test cricket in between. Forget no Test cricket. They did not play any kind of. Most of them did not play any kind of matches since the IPL. Any kind of decent matches since the IPL. So Ravichandran Ashwin played IPL, then he played the TNPL, and now he is playing this. Virat Kohli played 2 one-day matches in Sri Lanka early August, and now he is playing this. Rohit Sharma also played those, and now he is playing this. So a lot of players are coming from rusty situation. Jasprit Bumrah didn't even play those. Jasprit Bumrah last played in the final of the T20 World Cup. After that, he's coming here. India have 10 Test matches in this season. Out of those 10 matches, 5 are at home and 5 are at Australia. If they win the 5 matches which are at home, 2 versus Bangladesh, 3 versus New Zealand, if they can win these 5, India will qualify for the World Test Championship final without playing the first test versus Australia. So even if India loses all 5 tests against Australia, India will still qualify if they win the first 5. So that is how important it is. Second point is, the third point is that India knows in Australia, in the 5 test series, they will need their pacers to perform the best. The spinners will not do. Okay. So how they rotate the pacers in the domestic 5-match series, which is also very important to win, so that there is not enough pressure on them in the back end of it. That is also very important. And fourth and final piece of it, this is where the actual test of Gautam Gambhir starts. Gautam Gambhir, who has never been a manager or a coach before, who for the first time has hired a foreigner as a bowling coach in over more than 15 years. The last foreigner to have be a Indian bowling coach was probably back when Duncan Fletcher was our manager. That was before 2014, right? Even he might have a.
There was this Australian fast bowler who was a bowling coach, left-arm fast bowler. I don't remember. I don't remember his name. He was the bowling coach for a while.
Maybe a consultant, but no bowling coach. But Morning Markle the name morning. So basically, Gautam Gambhir has pulled in all his friends. Like if I am doing a podcast, I pull in my friends. Gautam Gambhir, when he became the captain, the manager, he pulled in Abhishek Nair, he pulled in Morning Morkel. He even tried to pull in Vinay Kumar, but then Vinay Kumar didn't come. He has pulled in Rant and Dushkate. Nobody knows how these people will, merge together. These have probably worked in a franchisee forum, but how they'll work in a national forum, nobody knows. So there's so many things. I'll first go to Krishnendu. Krishnendu, what do you feel about this Indian preparation for the domestic season?
India are playing at home, and at home they get into this autopilot mode. So I'm not really worried that maybe you will see a little bit of rustiness in the first couple of sessions of the first test match, but they will get over it very soon. India at home are basically plays in autopilot mode. They know the conditions, they know the team that they want to play, they know the kind of bowlers they want to play, they know the batting lineup they want to go with. They are very settled at home. I'm not really worried about Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma being out of match fitness, or Bumrah being out of match fitness. Bumrah, we have seen Bumrah come back from injury and just hit his rhythm like that. Is that kind of bowler? So I'm not really worried about the lack of match fitness. I do want to see the kind of combinations that they apply. I do not expect just pick Bumrah to play all the 5 test matches in India. I would love to have Mohammad Shami back, but I don't think he's going to return before the New Zealand series. So I'm not I'm not really worried about the kind of bowling, fast bowling resources that we have. We should be able to
We'll
rotate
come
our
to the
bowlers.
possible team combinations later. Bikiran, what is your expectation from the coaching staff, Indian coaching staff?
Yes, actually, that's true. And the previous coaching staffs at the later phase, since if we look at the 2023 Asia Cup, T2024 T20 World Cup, the Dravid and Kong actually raised the bar very high for his successor. Dravid actually worked with the data analysts as well, that Himanish Ganju. He actually worked with him, and that is actually unprecedented in Indian history. I think nobody has worked, no Indian coach has worked with any data scientist explicitly in Indian coaching staff, in Indian coach dressing room. So that was far less in Indian history. In the T20 World Cup, he worked with them. And that's actually raised the bar very high for the Gambhir, Moni Mokel, Abhishek Nair, and all that. I think they will manage somehow, and the contract is for 3 or more years. I feel 2027 World Cup, right? So that's actually a lot of time. Gambhir will get a lot of time to settle in. I think they will somehow manage, but initially it may take some time.
Krishnendu, what kind of pitches are you expecting in Chennai and in Kanpur?
See, the difference between the two sides is pretty big. Bangladesh are coming into the series with a lot of confidence after beating Pakistan, but the difference between the two sides is still very big. And if you are going to make pitches that are normal sporting tracks, India should comfortably beat Bangladesh. If India tries to be too clever, then the bad pitches narrow the gap down between two teams, and good pitches just shows the gap that exists between two teams. So I expect India to make those sporting tracks the kind of tracks that we saw against England. To be honest, England complained that the ball turned, but even fast bowlers got wickets, batsmen scored runs. So the kind of tracks that we saw against England, I would expect to see the same kind of tracks against Bangladesh.
Dada, what kind of pitches are you expecting from the writing that you are seeing, or the word of mouth that you are seeing? What kind of pitches? I also saw the press conference where Litton spoke about the Kookaburra and the SG ball.
First of all, I'm a bit confused because it's the start of the season in India. It's not a typical winter season and not even the end of winter season. So it's like autumn, and pitches are expected to be fresh after a long gap. So yeah, whatever you may prepare, the pitch will probably had some probably freshness on it. Probably we won't see a typical Chennai spinning friendly pitches, because whatever anyhow they will try to prepare the sporting pitches more, and more the fresh the pitch is, they will offer probably the faster bowlers a bit more purchase in the first couple of days, or something like that. So I am expecting some sporting pitches for probably 350, 400 will be par score in the first innings for team like Bangladesh. But I don't know how the people,
One more thing,
batters.
the difference, even Litton Das has even talked about it. The balls.
Yeah.
The Kookaburra ball is very different to SG ball. SG ball is more pronounced, seen,
Yeah.
and it does. If it is helping the bowlers, it helps the bowlers for a number of overs rather than the Kookaburra ball that gets old very fast.
Yeah. The SG balls. He mentioned that in SG balls it's better to bat at the first stage, and it lost its shines and probably the shape pretty quickly. And in the older balls, it becomes harder to score runs. We were actually playing with SG balls for a long time in our domestic culture, but since we were struggling in the overseas conditions, we started to uh, get away with SG balls and started to play with Kookaburra balls mainly. Though in West Indies, when we will move to West Indies, there will be a different situation. But in general, we are playing with Kookaburra balls. At the moment, they are trying to get back the gist of the SG balls, how it is expecting, how it is actually behaving or something like that. But I don't think this will be an issue, because yeah, cricket and the professional players is all about adaptation, and the more you play, the more you will adapt. That's the norm. But at the moment, everybody has played quite a few test matches, apart from few newbies like Nahid and other people. So yeah, I believe it will be a challenge, but it will be more of a challenge how they will adjust to the bowling attack of India, who are more disciplined, probably the most disciplined side at the moment in the world cricket, when they have played probably the worst disciplined team in the world cricket at the moment, and the Pakistan team. So yeah, there will be in Pakistan, probably they played 6 to 10 balls, and then the bad balls were coming to score. But here, probably 50 balls will be bowled in a channel, and you have to adapt over there. And if you miss one, if you make one mistake, that could be gone for you. So I am excited, but at the moment, but at the same time, I'm not too much worried about the ball or probably the pitch and other things, because these are the secondary things.
Let's come to the team formation. India at home usually plays 5 batsmen and 5 bowlers with the wicketkeeper. Most likely the wicketkeeper. Okay, so another thing that we haven't spoken about is the return of Virat Kohli after his second child was born, and the return of Rishabh Pant after his horrific incident to Test cricket. Both have played one day and T20, but this is their return to red ball cricket. Last test that Rishabh Pant played was also against Bangladesh. It was in Mirpur. He played a very crucial innings in the first innings. So 5 batsmen from Indian side selects themselves: Jaiswal, Rohit, Gill. Then it will be Virat, and then number 5 will be KL Rahul. The wicketkeeper most likely is Rishabh Pant. I think Dhruv Jurel will rest in the wings. And then we have 2 spinning all-rounders, which is Jadeja and Ashwin. And because Bumrah has been picked for the first test, I feel Bumrah will probably play 3 tests out of the 5 home tests. So 2 versus Bangladesh, 3 versus New Zealand. Out of these 5, he'll play 3 test matches. Maybe the first test against Bangladesh, he'll skip the second. He'll probably play, the second, or maybe the first and the second of New Zealand, skip the third, and then prepare for the first test against Australia. So he'll play probably 2 or 3 of those test matches. So the first match, I think I expect Bumrah to be there. That leaves 2 spots: the second pacer and the third spinner or the third pacer. My first question to Bikiron is that who are those 2 people?
Mohammad Siraj and Kuldeep Yadav.
Okay. Same thing for you, Krishnendu.
To be honest, I would pick Aksar over Jadeja and then put in Kuldeep Yadav and Mohammad Siraj.
Wow. If you ask me, I will go with, I don't want to pair up Siraj and Bumrah in the first test. I want to keep Siraj fresh for second test because if you think about it, Shami is still not fit. Siraj is our second pacer. And we have to go in 2 months' time to Australia. So I will play Akashdeep, who is in wonderful form, has taken 9 wickets in the first Dilip Trophy match, along with, he's a better batsman, along with our Bumrah. So Bumrah and Akashdeep would be my two pace bowlers. And my third spinner would be Kuldeep. I love the fact that you're talking about Akshar over Ravindra Jadeja. It says the amount of growth that we have seen of Akshar, but Jadeja has 4 test centuries. So I think, and on the bowling front, I don't think there is a contest between those two.
India has picked Bumrah because Shami is not there. If Shami was available and he was fully fit to go, then they would have rest. They would have given rest to Bumrah. But as
No, Bumrah needs to play because you cannot just suddenly pick Bumrah out of the cotton balls and say, go and play in Australia. That cannot
yeah,
happen.
yeah,
He will
yeah.
never play Dilip Trophy because Dilip Trophy, he'll be, wasted. So he'll be playing here. That'll give him some amount of also, match fitness.
Yeah.
Dada, what is your Bangladesh? So we have given the India team to you. What is your Bangladesh team?
My Bangladesh team is probably, if I talk about the bowlers, probably Nahidrana will be there because of his pace.
No, I'm talking about the 11.
No.
What is your Bangladesh?
So I'm talking about from bowling perspective
Okay.
that how many bowlers probably will play. Nahidrana will be the automatic choice because of his pace and the height and bounce, whatever he might generate. The another pacer we are missing Shoriful because he was probably one would have picked automatically in the first 11 because of his ability to swing the ball in the upfront. But if he is not there, probably Hassan Mahmood will be the second pacer. I don't believe we'll play 3 pacers unless we see something very dramatic in the pitches for the faster bowler. So there, my 2 fast bowlers will be Hassan Mahmood and Nahid Rana. Then we'll play the 2 spinners. So we'll be short of one bowler probably because we'll be playing for safety. And with Liton Das keeping the wickets, we play the other batters. So Shadman and Zakir will open because Zakir played quite well in the second innings of the second test. That is has given his license, probably lifeline for to play one more test match. Though Joy is now fit, but he will probably come in the team if there is a failure from Shadman or Zakir, and then the usual Mominul, Shakib, Mushfiq, and others. So one extra batter will be the Zakir Ali, who has been picked in this for this series. He was actually picked for specialist as a specialist batter. He played quite well in the last 18 tour against Pakistan. Caught the eye of the selectors, and he probably will come in the team. And yeah, we'll be playing with 4 bowlers, I believe. And if Bangladesh plays with 5 bowlers, this will be surprise for me because against India, if you want to win or get 10 or 20 wickets impact India, yeah, that will be adventurous. That will be courageous, but I believe that will give us a better shot because against quality bowling like India, probably one batter will not make a significant difference, but that can be useful for probably 50, 100 runs even.
But with Shakib being such a great all-rounder, Miraj now being, more than decent, more than average. He's almost like, at Shakib level, because Shakib has decreased a little, Miraj has improved. Both of them having such a good batting form, why would you not play Taijul as your, fifth bowler, or maybe Taskin as your fifth bowler?
That's what exactly I tried to mention because we won the second test in Pakistan, but we were 26 for 6. So yeah, so in that moment, Clinton and Miraj played a wonderful partnership, but probably that will not happen every day, especially in India. It's very hard to come by because so I believe they will be thinking to include another batter to just to give the flexibility in the batting side that yeah, there is batting left, but that will be too defensive in my sense. But in an away match, probably against India, probably against another team, I would have loved to play 5 bowlers, but against India, probably they'll play for safety. But you know, Hathurusinghe, he definitely has something in his mind. If he goes for 5 bowlers, there's nothing to be astonished as well.
Okay. Okay. Let's put people on the spot. In this 2-match series that you have, what do you expect from Virat Kohli, Bikiron?
Maybe a couple of 50s.
Couple of 50s, not a single 100.
Maybe not, because the conditions are in Kanpur and the Chennai. The ball will spin. I think it might be a slow turn. I don't expect anything from the Kanpur. Maybe
Okay.
80 in the
What from Jaiswal?
130, 100.
One daddy 100. Dada, what do you expect from Litton in this 2-match series?
The way he has raised his level and the expectation of us, he can be a big flop in this series. I'm ready for that, but I'm really expecting 1 century from him, at least a century, because things the pitches will be there for batting, and if he can grab his innings. But again, if he has to score a century, then the top order and the top middle order probably will have to fail. So that is another dilemma for us as well. We expect a century from him. That will mean that our top order will fail.
Right, right. Now, if I was the Indian think tank, I would try and always create a batting kind of a wicket. Because early season, I want my batsmen to ease in. I would rather trust Ashwin and Jadeja and Bumrah to get Bangladesh out rather than I would, because I need Virat Kohli to get some runs. I need my Gill to get some runs because these runs are going to be impactful for my Border Gavaskar Trophy in after 5 tests. So, but I don't know. Like Dada said that early season there will be always some moisture in the pitch. Even though Chennai is known for spin, there would be some spice in there, and I think they are preparing for a little bit of a spinning track only. I think that is what they are preparing. Okay, your prediction for the series. Let's go with Bikiron first.
I think 2-0 India. India is obviously overwhelming favorite, but I would not count BD out. They do have some chances to create an upset. They do have some nearly 15 to 20% of the chances to create an upset.
Dada, what is your
My expectation, to be honest, I am expecting a 1-0 loss from Bangladesh because probably we try to draw a test. If that has to happen, it will be the first test. There is no opportunity if we lose the first test. There will be pressure, and India will get all the momentum that is needed to start the season. So we'll not be able to save the second test. But if we can save the first test, that will probably be a moral victory for us. Yeah, in a World Test Championship cycle, it is too defensive to think about. But for us to draw a test in India is like a victory for us. So I'm expecting a 1-0 loss from India, from Bangladesh.
Yes.
India do not make pitches for drawn test match. It doesn't happen. It's very rare. So it would have to be some sort of completely dead batting track for a test match to be drawn in India. So I expect Bangladesh to put up a fight. And the last time I watched Bangladesh and India play in India was Eden Gardens, the ping ball test match. Bangladesh folded like 9 pins. I do not expect that this time around. They will put up a fight. There will be sessions that Bangladesh will win. But India will eventually win the series 2-0.
One last thing, Krishnendu, on your prediction for Virat Kohli and Ravichandran Ashwin for this series.
Virat Kohli will get 100. I don't know which test match, but he will get 100. Ravichandran Ashwin, couple of fifers.
Dada, any prediction on Mirage for this series?
Prediction of Mirage in this series is tough to predict because he will get the purchase over there, but he'll be playing against the best players who play the spin, arguably the best in the world. So he probably get 5 to
They
6
don't play
wickets.
spin. They don't play spin that well. You do not. It's
But
not
still-
that. Not the previous generation. Trust me.
But still, I expect him to get probably 5 to 6 wickets at least. He might get a fifer as well if the pitch assists him. And from batting perspective, some utility runs in the lower order.
The Indian batting coach after the Sri Lanka series did admit he didn't expect that he would have to work on the spin bowling. The way Indian
Playing
spin bowling.
Gautam Gambhir was one of the finest players of spin.
Yeah.
I think India has taken a huge gamble by phasing out Cheteshwar Pujara and putting Gill in.
I think Devapanta, you have been playing for.
It is
You
a
have played a longer innings for Cheteshwar Pujara since last year than Cheteshwar Pujara has. So I'm not too sure.
it is a gamble. Only the I will stop playing it once the BGT results are out, because Cheteshwar Pujara is your greatest batsman in Australia.
Even if
batsman in
India
Australia.
lose in Australia, that doesn't mean India would have won if Cheteshwar Pujara was. That is the kind of argument I don't want to get into.
Okay, on that note, we will close for this session. We hope to have a very exciting session. We are eager to see the fast pace bowling of Nahid Rana. We are eager to see the swing of Hasan Mahmood. We are eager to see the fight of Mehdi Miraj and the batsmanship of Litton. And we are also eager to welcome back two Indian players who have been who have not played Test cricket for a long time. That's Virat Kohli and Rishabh Pant. So hopefully we'll see a great Test match and a great series. And for those who are following our podcast, please note that we will have Raman Dada with us throughout this series, covering the India versus Bangladesh Test matches. And we'll come to you on a much more regular basis with our updates. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure bringing this episode to you. If you like this episode, please like and share it. Please also subscribe or follow our podcast.